Hey everyone, welcome to today's podcast. If you think you're marketing, you're probably not doing enough. That's what we're going to highlight today. So before we dive into that, I just want to say welcome to the JOE Rendina Podcast, where we help cut the learning curve for service-based businesses. My passion really is small business, and I want to deliver value and also learn during the process. The purpose of this podcast is to help build communities that raise the standard of small service-based businesses, because there's a ton of crap out there and we want to raise that standard. I hope you enjoy this content. And to help us to keep delivering this message, or if you get any value, please share the show. We want to grow it. We want to get to as many people as possible. I've learned a lot along the way, and I wanted to help you learn how to scale your small service-based business. So let's get into it. First things first, marketing is everything, right? We're going to dive into that. When you have a small service-based business, if you're not marketing, you're not going to grow. And again, if you think you're marketing, you probably are only touching the top end of it. So we're going to dive into what a marketing glove is and talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about a little bit about the customer experience. I have a story that I'm going to share, and the importance of the customer experience, and really how that sets you apart from your competition is everything. And you want to make sure you're delivering that, because you don't want to just be a transactional business. You want to make sure you're building relationships. So with that in mind, I want to tell you a little bit about how I bought my first set of cowboy boots. We were in Nashville, my wife and I. We were at an event. And, that's what you do in Nashville. You buy cowboy boots. It's a thing. So we're shopping around at all these stores. And I remember specifically going into this one store, and I bent the boot, and the guy pretty much got mad at me. And he's like, "What are you doing? You're going to break the seal. You can't be doing that." So I was like, "All right, fuck that. I'm not buying from you." So that was the first case there. Then we went to the store called Tecovas. And if you guys don't know what Tecovas boots are, you should check them out if you want cowboy boots. I highly recommend them. They mold to your feet. They're fantastic. So I want to talk a little bit about their experience, their customer experience, and really why I bought from them. And this is all marketing. Customer experience is really all marketing. You walk into the store, and they have a greeter and a bar, literally a bar in the store. People are hanging out there, drinking beers, drinking tea, whatever. They're offering you all this stuff. Now, when we walked into the back where all the boots are displayed, it's like 100 different boots, all different types. Someone comes up to you who works there, and they don't just ask you like, "Hey, what are you looking for? What do you want?" They say, "Listen to our story. This is how these boots were created and the why." So right from there, they sold me. They took time just to say, before we dive into why you should choose this boot, listen to our story of how these boots were created. And man, that got me right away, because now I have an emotional trigger to this company. And they opened up. They were open. They were like, "Hey, just come and talk to us. This is why we do what we do." And it was really valuable. And they spend like 20, 25 minutes with you as you're trying on different boots. And they make sure that you get the boot that's designed specific for you. And I bought them there, right? And it's wild, because I would say I'm one of their biggest fans right now. I'm a raving customer because of that experience. So I won't buy boots from anywhere else if I get cowboy boots again. Who knows? My wife says I buy too many of them now. I get obsessed with things, and I'll buy like 10 pairs, but I have one pair now. Actually two. Let's say I have 2 pairs, but they're all Tecovas, right? So what's the importance of this? That client experience was everything. Now, if you have a service-based business, this is 10 times more important. Like, how does someone feel when they first walk into your facility? Are they greeted? Are they given something? Are they told why, what you do? Are they given your vision, your mission? Or they just come in and it's like, "Hey, sign this, wait 5 minutes." It doesn't feel good. It feels like a traditional transactional business. That client experience, and honestly, we could probably do a whole podcast on just the client experience, but I'm bringing up the story to show the importance of how that is marketing. Now, for me, they're creating a fan where I'm telling everyone, like, I'm talking to the camera about this. That's how valuable this stuff is. So we're going to dive into the specifics of marketing. That's just one little umbrella of why the client experience is crucial. And obviously, this is going to be a point we'll talk about too. I'll recircle back to that. But let's first start with the marketing glove. And what does that mean? How do you attract people into your business so then you can deliver that client experience? The first one is social media, right? Like everyone, if you're not on social media, you have to be. And I always say it's not a short game, it's the long game. You're playing social media for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line. Even me doing this podcast, I know that I'm going to be doing this for 2-3 years before someone actually says, oh, wow, that's good, valuable content. It's a part of it. You have to be in it for the long game, and you have to be documenting everything you do in your business. If you're in any service-based business, it's easy. You're doing something with a client. So show you doing that. Get a testimonial. If it's something like a massage or something, maybe you can't show a massage, but you could show a technique. You could teach people. You can deliver value that way. You need to make sure you're consistently putting out this material, because if you're not, someone else is, and then that could be the factor from someone choosing you or going somewhere else. So social media is crucial, and you have to use all platforms. You have to maybe hire someone to do it for you if you're not going to do it yourself. The second part of the marketing glove, and I think this is really the most important, is outreach and relationship building. If you have a small service-based business, if you're not doing any outreach and you're not building relationships, you're not going to grow. It's not just like, hey, let me hang my shingle up and people are going to come into my door because I'm here. It doesn't work that way. You got to go out there and get business. Now, there's some key factors with outreach and relationship. One, know your audience. You have to know who your client is. If you don't know who your client is, how can you go and get them or attract them? So know your audience. Once you know them, also know where they hang out, where they go to lunch, where they go to dinner, where they go to do coffee, and you have to show up in those places. Go there and maybe deliver a free seminar in that area where your ideal client is. Because if you're delivering that free value, they'll see you, and they might not become a client today. They may become a client 2 months, 3 months, a year down the line. I've actually done this in the past where we've done seminars at gyms. We're Iron Health's a physical therapy company. We've done a seminar on, say, let's shoulder health. We'll do a seminar, and 6-7 months down the line, someone will come into my clinic because of that seminar. So you're building your base, you're building your relationship because you're delivering value. Now, if something comes up in that person's mind, your ideal client's mind, they're going to choose to come to you. That's crucial. The difference between networking and relationship building. This is an important thing. It took me a while to really conceptualize. I personally do not like networking. It does have value, and if that's the type of connections you like to build, networking can be very valuable. But relationship building is really key. What do I mean by that? You're not just going to events to give out your card to somebody and say, hey, come here. This is what we do, blah, blah, blah. How many of those cards you have in a junk drawer somewhere and you've never used, right? That is networking. It's very transactional. People are going to get numbers, just like someone going to a bar or a club just to get numbers. It's the same concept versus building a relationship, right? You're finding someone who aligns to what you do, and you're building a relationship. You're offering them value, which in return will bring you value. And if it doesn't, that's okay, because you have to be okay with delivering value to them. And what does that mean? It could be as simple as, hey, why don't you come in? If it's a service-based business, try our service for free to see what we do. You're giving them a free value, and now they're more inclined down the road to refer you to someone. Very important. You have to build those relationships, and that takes time. And how do you do it? You reach out to 500 people a day. I mean, I say that like tongue in cheek, but literally the more people, the merrier. It's a numbers game. It's 500 people, maybe 2 hit. Now you can start a relationship, start to meet them, start to get to know them, start to deliver value, start to have them come into your service, and that's where it grows. Super important. And how to be consistent. I think outreach and relationships, you have to be super consistent. Anytime you fall off, you're out of sight, out of mind. It's very true. It's 100% true. If you're not consistently reaching out to people and doubling down and saying, hey, what's going on? Or checking in. Hey, how are you doing? What's happening? This has to be a weekly, monthly, yearly thing where you're consistently rechecking in with people. If you go to one person one day, how do you expect to build that relationship if you're not hitting them up consistently? It's super, super crucial that you have a running list, you track that, and you're doing it consistently, right? So that's point 2 there, the outreach, the relationships. And then point 3, this is where you offer something for free. It goes kind of hand in hand with the networking where you can do that, but you want to make sure you have something of value to give someone. What does this mean? It could be a free report online where they could download it. It could be a free session if you're in a massage, PT, chiropractic. It could be a free evaluation at their place. Like let's say you go to a gym or you go to a library where you have a captive audience. You give them a free evaluation there and you show them the value. Offering something free is very important, and you have to do it with the idea of you want to help people. It can't be, I'm going to offer you something to get something in return. That does happen, But the mindset has to be, I'm going to go and help as many people as I can, because in helping as many people as I can, everything's going to come back to me. So it's super crucial to understand that. So let's summarize some basics of marketing. And like, I love marketing. This is very much the tip of the iceberg, right? So relationships, go and develop them. Do not stop. Social media has to be a part of your life. I don't like being in front of the camera, but I'm going to do it consistently because I know it's going to help me in the long run. Outreach. Consistently go out, meet people, deliver something for free. So those are 3 little basic things. Now, the client experience is something what happens when someone comes into your office, right? You have to make sure that's polished. And it is marketing. I want to make that very clear, but I think we'll create a whole nother episode just on the client experience. So if you got any value from that, guys, share the show, give us a like, comment. Thanks for watching.